Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Chris, Stacy, and I are about to talk about Lovecraft Country Season 1, Episode 4. Got dropped early this week, this 3-day weekend, depending on what you do for your living. I guess they wanted to get out the way of P-Valley and Power. A lot of things coming up on Sunday. It's going to be a very busy Sunday for television. And The Boys, also, for example.
And Mulan.
That's probably not a thing. But also, Mulan came out this weekend too. That's another video. And Tenet. A lot of shit came out. So
damn.
Labor Day.
Gotta love Labor Day weekend, huh?
Yep. And what did they give us? Indiana Jones / Tomb Raider with black folks. I was waiting for the hat. I was waiting for him to put on my hat as he was going down.
I was waiting for the whip, man.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the whip. Matter of fact, even for the puzzle, I was waiting for them to switch, like him going in his bag from some old book of George and be like, yo, the weight needs to be perfect. So I can switch this hand out and then switch it for that because it needs something that can equate to a hand. So, or some shit. I was waiting for it. I was like, okay, let's go all out. Let's go all out. I even looked for George Lucas's name at the end of this thing. I looked for his name. Or Spielberg, somebody. I was looking for someone.
J.J. Abrams was like, we got to go to the greats. What was Spielberg doing in this moment?
Yeah. When
the bridge started to disappear, I was like, this is The Last Crusade. This is definitely directly out of The Last Crusade. I was like, It was awesome. And then the lady was like, I'm here for the one who can choose wisely. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, where's Harrison Ford, his old ass? Where is he? I know he's in this place somewhere. But anyway.
To be fair, I feel like they were trying to really, and you saw it from the little kid's book that he was reading in the library. They're basically kind of basing off of, if you read Journey to the Center of the Earth, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you can argue that Indiana Jones got their shit from that book. You know what I mean?
All right, I see.
Because from what I remember from grade school, from reading that book, it was very similar, minus the creatures that they encountered. In the book, you know what I mean? But in the Journey to the Center of the Earth, but I don't know. But I can understand that people get some strong Harrison Ford vibes.
Oh yeah,
it was definitely there.
Yeah. Stacy, what you think about the episode? Where you want to start? What jumped to your mind?
Rihanna in the 1950s. As Chris stated, I guess magic allows you to time travel, so she kind of went to the 2000s and grabbed some Rihanna and was riding.
Yeah,
get her money, I guess.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if that was necessary on the radio, and that was, you know what I mean. But it is a strong, empowering song. So I think that was a great representation of that scene with Christina basically saying, like, okay, I'm about to own everything. Like this is my shot now. You know what I mean? So I felt so. That's what's so interesting about the music in the show, because they will kind of go old school with it at times, and then they would mix with modern day music, but it all fits though. I feel, you know what I mean? All fits. It doesn't necessarily. It does at times. It can sound a little awkward. Like I did think that scene for one. At the moment, I was like, oh, I was like, wait, did I leave my Bose on? And I'm hearing the background of Rihanna, and I was like, no, this is coming from HBO Lovecraft Country. No, it's actually meant to be. I even hit pause, and as soon as I hit pause, I heard bitch. I was like, and then I hit play, and they're like, better have my money. I was like, oh shit, that is part of the episode. So but it was cool. I don't know. I dug it.
That was cool, man. I was bouncing. Yeah, I would love to buy the soundtrack when the season's over.
Yeah.
But Stacey, what do you think of the character development? Where these characters were and where they ended up?
I'm still curious about Montrose. It seems like he has a lot more knowledge of things than he's leading on. So, what's really happening?
I believe so. It's interesting. So Chris, is this addressed in the book? At any point, did any of this stuff happen in the book?
Which one?
Or which book? Or which, like, this whole,
No,
like,
I mean, like, what part? You mean, like, all of? I mean,
like, so, like, this episode. Did any of this episode happen in the book?
Yes, just in a different manner, like them traveling to find the missing pages. Well, I think actually in the book they were looking for it's the missing book, not pages. They're looking for a book and that Winthrop had. And that Montrose knows more than he's letting on. But but then it just, like I said, the show just goes a different direction. Wow. Yeah. Like there's the show is talking about like this lost civilization that Titus Great White found and whatnot, and all this that's kind of brand new. You know what I mean? But Montrose is somewhat familiar with the book itself. But like I said, they changed a lot because it's really George. Like it's George too. Like George is all in the book, but George is dead. So so I don't know if I guess they're just kind of mashing George and Montrose kind of in one now. I'm assuming that's what they're doing.
So you said so last week episode, so George gave Montrose the bylaws book when they left the manor, right? So as he said, he was reading a lot of it. I still think maybe at some level his wife, so Tick's mom, I think maybe she had the book that Hannah stole from the house years and years and years ago, possibly, or maybe pages from it, and maybe it was just handed down like through the generations. And Montrose and Montrose has it, and maybe so he's read some of that stuff. But he did admit in the episode that he was reading the bylaws book, so that's why he knew about the door and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why he cut that woman's throat at the end of this damn episode. This is something we need to look into.
Yeah, I think that was more to kind of probably protect his son. I think because his son, because of the whole lineage that can kind of that it falls with his son, with Tick, and possibly the fact that he could possibly be in danger, or it could just be the fact that Montrose was probably trying to cover his tracks, which is why he burnt the book in the very beginning and said, "Oh, I memorized it." Like, okay, cool, you memorized the book, but you just burned that bitch, huh? Just like whatever, you know what I mean? And say, "Oh yeah, I burned it." He did confess it. I didn't even think he was even going to confess that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, like you said, slit the throat or whatnot. I was like, okay, he's either trying to protect his son, which I'm actually kind of more leaning towards, actually protecting his son, or he's trying to cover his tracks for something else, perhaps
hiding something.
Yeah,
he's hiding something. Yeah. We just don't know what.
I really thought that maybe that wasn't even Montrose. Like I was waiting for him to like transform into Fitz or some shit. What's his name?
Fitz.
Call that dude Fitz. You know what I'm saying? I really thought it was Fitz. I really thought I was like, oh shit, it's like he just took Montrose's form or some shit. Speaking of shape-shifting, we can talk about Chris's theory, which apparently may be true. Yeah. That William is the male extension of Christina. Because it seems kind of interesting that she went in the house, he came out of the house, and you haven't seen her since. Like it was just him fucking up those dudes outside, and then fucking Ruby, which I didn't see coming. No pun intended, I suppose. But but you talked about that, right? Because you said Christina was a man in the book, and he has a relationship with Ruby, right?
Yeah. So if you remember, I guess was it the second episode? I said now that she's Christina, I kind of hinted. I was like, okay, does that mean it's gonna be a lesbian scene or whatnot? And
I was ready for
that. That's what I was talking about. This right here, but and I won't say anything further. But what happened on the steps is very important. The whole thing with Ruby, and this is why I said this show's like more like an anthology, because even though yes, it first focused on your main three characters of Tick, Liddy, and George, the other family members that you met along the way, there's a lot more going on with them too. So So even with Hippolyta, George's wife, I mean, she'll have her own story as well. And it's clear, especially from the preview of the next episode, Ruby is going to have her own as well. So so that's why it seems like HBO is kind of following the same route as the book, where it's like kind of going into like an anthology route rather than just a straight up beginning to end. Everything is on a linear sequence. You know what I mean? So,
what do you think the budding love romance, Stacey?
The what romance?
The romance between Ruby and William / Christina. I don't even know.
I think Ruby had a bit too much to drink. She was ripe for the taking.
Yeah, I felt like she just felt like she wasn't loved. She wasn't being appreciated. She's been like lied to by everybody, like from her family, from like her mother, her sister,
half sister.
Half sister. Yeah, sorry. Yes, her half sister, and then as we found out from this episode, lied to by one of the general managers at the store that she was going to apply for. You know what I mean? Thinking that she was going to have the job, and just to replace her with another black girl that was quote quote more attractive. You know what I mean, to other viewers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It wasn't. I am interested on that point real quick. I'm interested she's still dark skinned. Like, I would imagine that she would have been replaced with somebody, that looks like her half sister, and then that would have been a whole other thing. Like, I could see her like going that route. You know what I'm saying? Not only she's much skinnier, she's much lighter. She ain't me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but y'all still put her.
Don't you think that's kind of overkill? Because you already got a thing with the sister. Like, you're just gonna beat it to the death by also saying everybody that has shit that she doesn't have, they all just happen to be light skinned. You know what I mean? That's a little much.
If they're gonna take
stars. I'm just
messing. If they're gonna take it to, it's the 1950s. Black folks are in the back. Colorism is a thing. Okay, it's a thing then. It's a thing now. I'm just saying, like, if I could more understand it. I could more understand it to be like, for her, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. The replacement with a dark skinned girl, I'm like, what's the, then you're making it a size issue. Then you're making it so, well, she's just too big to, to work in the store. I'm like, but anyway, it was kind of strange. I just think I think y'all taking away her womanly adult that she was like, look, I see a man. I think he wants me. I might as well want him. And she was empowered by the sex. Like, she wasn't just a drunk, vulnerable
power. And then it's like a white man, white man that I don't know. You know what I mean? So she's like, damn, I don't know.
But she said twice, like, don't be that white boy. Think you coming in here to tell me some bullshit. Like, I know the stories.
Yeah.
And in the end, he was like, I can really make it happen. She was like, well, let's try to make this. So I thought she was going to turn into Christina in the middle of the sex. That's what I thought was going to happen. And then I was
what is with you and the sibling, like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, like Game of Thrones type deal. Yeah.
No,
they're not siblings.
Show. He did it on Double Cross.
That's a whole other thing. Okay, like that is twins on twin action. That is.
Oh my God, really?
Right. That's why I was like,
no, listen.
Oh my God.
This is a different conversation. All right. Christina and Ruby are not related. I'm saying if William is in fact Christina.
I thought you meant that Ruby would turn into Christina. That's why I was like, what are we doing?
No, I'm saying if we're going down Chris's theory that William is Christina in man form, I thought that at some point as they were getting into it that she would turn into Christina. He would turn into Christina. That's what I thought. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which can still happen. Thank you. So no dirty minds. Thank you. So it can still happen next episode because we see there's some shape shifting or some shit going on. So we can get that. What do you think about the idea that they traveled all the way out of state to walk their happy asses back to the house? That was hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't see that thing. I usually watch the episode twice. I didn't get to watch this episode more than once, like I typically do, because there was a little show called The Boys that came on this weekend, and I got distracted by another show. On top of that, and Cobra Kai, awesome show, guys. If y'all haven't watched it, watch it. But shameless plug. But yeah, I didn't. I guess I didn't get to really kind of pay attention to see where exactly that whole what do you call it? That planetarium place was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was out of state. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. They got in the car. It was in Boston or something, right?
It's
Stacey?
Boston.
Right? Because the other guy jumped in the car who lied about sleeping with with Letty, and that became the thing.
Yeah.
They drive out of state, go inside this museum, go into that thing, just to ultimately walk their happy asses back to the same house. And then it's cool that it's all connected. I mean, that was awesome. But I'm like, they gotta feel like this is shit. We could just went downstairs and start and cut out and set up a whole bunch of fucking work. You know, I was like, yeah. And then it makes sense, right? Because the elevator was working all by itself, even after the ghosts left the house and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Then, if you think about the fact that the sheriff is the head of the local branch of the Sons of Adam, right? And then the doctor was, part of the same crew, right? So they probably were using those black people. I think thinking that maybe they were descendants of Titus to see if they could get that door open downstairs, and that shit didn't work out for them. So they just kept on killing black folks until they found the right ones. Maybe. Well,
if you remember, that was a white hand they pulled out though.
So I'm saying, but like maybe he was like, so they're trying to use the black blood. Then they were like, well, maybe one of these white dudes can make it. I'm just saying, because those 3 white dudes just disappeared. Well, they were about to kill those kids, so that's the other thing. But they had all those bodies downstairs that we saw at the end of last episode. So they've been doing this bullshit for a while to try to open that door. I'm just saying they wasted a whole bunch of time.
Yeah.
But it was a good road trip, I guess.
Yeah. I wanted something slightly different with that scene. I know what they were trying to do with the HBO thing. It was cool. In the book, it seemed more terrifying what they went through than that. Like, it was like, it's pitch black. Well, I guess technically it was pitch black. And like, there was no plank. They just like, one of them accidentally fell off and they actually kind of floated. Like, it was just like, it was nothing. It was sort of like Wile E. Coyote when he first goes off the cliff, right before he realized he's off the cliff. You know what I mean? It was like that. You know what I mean? And then, yeah. So you see, but then like I guess in the episode you see the corpse, but then in the book you see it's floating. It's a floating corpse, like the ghost of Winthrop, floating around with the book attached to him. You know what I mean? Which I guess is similar to what they with that woman with the what I forgot her name in the show, because that part wasn't in the book at all. But
the one who got killed.
That was their version of it.
The siren, I guess.
Yeah, the siren. Yeah, the siren. Yeah, So I guess that was their Pirates of the Caribbean moment. That was like, I got so many freaking like Disney / George Lucas vibes with that. You know what I mean?
Was she reanimated and shit?
Yeah, that was so like.
I was like, where's Jack Sparrow
going into the haunted ship, and then just like, of course, reanimates like Jack Sparrow. You know what I mean? Like getting his eyeball and popping it back in his head. I see you, Sparrow. You know, where's me gold? Oh, I just gave him my Irish accent. Sorry.
That's too much, man. It's like, what you got a Cockney accent for? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it should have been Calypso. Like, if it was Calypso from the movie, I would have been like, this is crazy shit. Then I would be like, where is Jack Sparrow? She's like, he's the one that brought me here, met Titus, and then I got hooked up with this shit. Anyway, it was a lot of stuff going on. And then I'm like, she has a whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, she got a lot of things going on down there. I was like, I didn't know what was that about. I was like, where are we going with this? Which even further made me think that William was going to turn into Christina. Like, I was like, this is going to be a thing. And I was like, but it's not, the show's not over yet. So, they were looking for the globe shit, right? Like, we talked about that off camera, right? And it was in the house last episode, right? Because Hippolyta, wherever, like, she found it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now she stole it, and that's at her house?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay. But now she's driving to Boston? Like, she's driving to the manor? Is that where she's going?
She's trying to get answers to what happened to her husband, like real answers. She thinks they're full of shit with the whole sheriff shooting him. She thinks that like that's not what happened to him. Like, don't think they ran into no racist thing. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying she's going to Massachusetts though. She's heading off to Massachusetts to where the manor was. That's all I'm asking.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, that's
with her daughter. That's how we're led to think, at least. But yeah. So
that don't sound like good decision making.
I mean, no, she's a strong woman. I told you, you got to remember where her name comes from. You know what I mean? The Queen of the Amazons. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Queen of the Amazons.
I'm not saying she's not a strong woman, sir. I'm just saying she's about to go through some sundown towns by herself with her daughter, and I'm like, and ain't no demon dogs to protect her. Like the only reason fucking Tick and all them got through that is
ain't no whistles.
And the whistle ain't no damn whistle. Like it's anyway. That's next episode. So let's talk about.
At least you don't have to worry about that sheriff anymore.
That's true. But then, maybe the dogs are still. Maybe those villagers are still there. The random ass white people sitting outside the manor. Maybe they still living there. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Let's get to Montrose. So let's talk about theories. All right. So Chris's theory was correct. My theory was correct. Okay. It seems like Montrose may be somewhat gay. You know what I'm saying? From time to time. So we see that, and that's why he was I love his face though. He was like, when he looked at his dad in the guard, he was like, "So how you know that guard?" "Oh, he's a friend of the bar." Mm-hmm. Suspect. Like he was suspect. But Stacey, what do you think? This is gonna be a thing? You think he's gonna confront his dad about the possibility that he was with Sammy in a way?
I think so. What's the guy, Tree?
Oh, the guy was talking shit.
They got 3 legs.
The third leg guy, which random ass conversation, but okay. And I liked her response. She was like, "Yeah, because you hit it in high school, so I wouldn't know if you know." Men in their lives. I digress. Yes, so I don't know how that would come up. Like, Dad, do you like men, or like, and what does it add to the story if he is gay?
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know if that would be like a thing, like a real thing.
This rolls down into, are you really my dad? This turns into, George is my dad. Not that gay men can't have babies. Obviously, they can't.
Right.
They do it all the time.
You're still married to the mom. At some point, there's probably.
I was about to say, are you serious? Do you want to check out how many Oprah episodes that she had?
God.
All those people that was on the down low that had like multiple kids, not just one kid. But like
I'm saying for this show, okay, where they're trying to set up, right? I'm saying because you said that was not in the book, right? It wasn't in the book. For this show, this will help start the conversation, all right? And then at some point, he's gonna realize that George is his dad, and they're gonna be like, oh, like when they get into Tulsa and all that shit, and he's gonna be like, maybe George, my daddy, and it's gonna be a thing. I'm not saying he's gonna be like, oh, Dad, I can't love you because you love men. I'm not saying that, but it will somehow lead to the fact that he's gonna realize George is his dad.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be crucial for the plot point. Just like the whole half sister thing with Ruby and Lydia ain't even really much of a plot point. You know what I mean? So that's not really that much of a character. Now granted, obviously, I think there's going to be a moment, obviously, that Montrose is going to be distraught if he finds out about George, the whole thing with George and whatnot. But, if that's the route they're going to go with it, with George being his real dad, that's the case. But I don't think that, for one, I don't think that's going to be a pivotal plot. You know what I mean? I don't think that's going to really matter. I think it's critical to the fact of his relationship with Montrose. Right now, he's dealing with a lot of that bullshit because he thinks that's his dad. If he realized that's not even his dad, he'd be a lot less likely to put up with his shit. I'm just saying. Well, the whole thing with his dad is because of his dad, because of his grandfather.
But it's irrelevant. At this point, he's still like, this man treats me like shit, but he's my dad. I got to work through this. If he goes, no, that's my uncle, and the guy that I really cared about died, because, to save me, that's going to change the relationship.
Wouldn't that make it worse? Like, you got beaten by your uncle, then you're like, I don't know how, like, say, hey, you know what? It ain't so bad because you ain't actually my dad and you my uncle instead. And so all the times you beat me, I forgive you, and we can now talk it out because I found out you ain't even really my biological dad.
That would make it work. You're going to told direct. That would make it work. Stacey, what do you think?
To your point, it is a difference between you being abused by your own father and putting up with it versus uncle. I can see the differentiation and how he would feel about himself knowing that, okay, my dad, my real dad, actually did love me and care for me and did try to protect me, even though he never told me he was my daddy. And, that's a whole nother issue. But
yeah. Because he got issues with George too. Because he was like, you weren't there to protect me when he was doing all this stuff. So if anything, she'll be like, hey, if you're supposed to be, if I felt closer to you than my actual father, how come you know what I mean? So it's like, it ain't gonna be all roses for George either.
I didn't say it's gonna be roses, but Hippolyta is gonna have a whole issue. It's gonna be a thing. This will be a ripple effect. And then she's gonna be like, "Oh fuck! Like, what did my husband do? Like, he fucked your wife? Like, that's gonna be a whole other thing." I'm not saying it will come up. I mean, if they're going down this route,
well, no, I'm not saying no. I'm not. I wasn't pointing out that it won't come up. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be
that pivotal,
crucial. Yeah, that's
okay. I get it.
Just like the whole half sister thing. It was brought up, but they didn't make a big stink out of it. You know what I mean?
If her white daddy,
I think it's going to be more casually brought up or whatever. I don't know. I feel like maybe Ruby's going to get pissed off at Liddy and say, well, at least my father wasn't white or some shit like that. And then so it might be brought up like some shit like that. I don't know.
It could be some wild shit that her white daddy was also a son of Adam, and maybe she got some powers. They could go that route.
I think that would be kind of overkill, bro. That would be so overkill. So they just
have
to have
that, and then she's gonna get pregnant, and then it's gonna be this whole lineage thing, and
then they got the super baby.
It's gonna be a superpower baby, and the baby gonna come out casting spells and
pew pew pew. Oh. Come out as Harry Potter. Got a good big old lightning bolt on his forehead,
The baby that couldn't die because Titus tried to kill all his offspring, and he's come back. That would be.
Now you go zippity zoo, but I die.
Wait a minute, seriously. What if some wild shit? Maybe Titus has come up with a spell that he's like trying to reincarnate himself, like somewhere.
Yes, he's gonna reincarnate into that baby.
That'd be wild. Or a baby, maybe not that baby, but a baby. Like that would be wild.
That baby.
No, that'd be shit. She's gonna give birth back to Titus. And he's gonna be like, I got you. Finally, the black woman has given me life. Who's taking my life? We gotta get Hannah in that book. Like I don't want to know about. But let's talk about spells. So Stacey and I were talking about how it's interesting that they're killing themselves, almost killing themselves, to get the hold of the pages of the Son of Adam and all shit. When regular voodoo is stopping Christina from coming to the house, It's a pretty powerful shit. Like, just go to the voodoo. Like, just work that out. That's a lot easier.
What you mean? What? Say that again?
Like, if the voodoo woman who's already dead, for the record, apparently, who like her curse, like her blessing of the house, stop Christina from
Go ahead.
Like, stop Christina from coming in. Go find another voodoo woman. Like, learn some of that shit. Like, maybe that will help them, fight a little bit until they go get the Book of Adam, is what I'm saying.
But I don't think that was the no, I mean, she wanted to go in the house, but it wasn't. But the whole point of her not being able to go in the house because of the voodoo queen had nothing to do with her wanting to have them to get to get those pages. Remember, she recruited Tick to get those pages before she even went to the house to get blocked. You see what I'm saying?
I know that. I'm just saying right now they're saying he's saying we need the Book of Adam to protect ourselves. We need to learn how to cast spells to protect us and our fire. That's what he said. I'm just saying it shows that voodoo at some level helps protect against some of this shit. Like maybe they learn some of that. It could give them some fighting skills in the sorcery world or whatever until they get the Book of Adam stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really do think if they just get their hands on the book, period, I mean, they won't even have to do the voodoo shit at all. You know what I mean? If you, you got to remember Christina and her family, they're just like distant cousins of Titus Great White, So, and they're able to cast spells. It's just, and especially even the other folks that's part of the order, Dr. Epstein, that did all those experiments, he was not related to any one of them, but he was a follower of Winthrop and his teachings, and he used some of those pages, which Tick brought up with the previous episode, saying, I think Epstein, Letty brought up, saying, I think Dr. Epstein stole some of the pages from Winthrop when he died and used it himself, a regular civilian. So they ain't gonna need no damn voodoo once they got the book. You know what I mean? Yes, Tick is going to be probably the most strongest, obviously, because of his bloodline. But every single one, I think me, you, whoever, Stacy, all of us, you know, if we had that book and read from it.
If we could read from it, but I mean,
oh yeah, there's that shit.
So that goes to the fact that no one can read this shit. And
I'm gonna hit up my Google, like Google Translate,
like the Book of Adam. So I'm saying again, you see our point, and I'm saying either way, I think we're both saying the same thing. The book is more powerful, but since nobody can read this shit, go find yourself a couple of voodoo women, let them teach you some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then that will at least you're somewhat competitive a little bit. Because right now, Christina thought she's running them until she went to the house and realized she couldn't even get in. And then she was like, oh, ain't this a bitch? So, you know what I'm saying? So it can be helpful. It'd be interesting if the voodoo thing comes back. That's all I'm saying. It'd be, at some level. Because somebody could come looking for the voodoo sorcerer who died and hasn't been seen again. That could be a thing. Mm-hmm. And who's living in that damn house? So all those other black folks moved out. So now it's just Letty, Tick, and Ruby, I guess. Because they had a house full of people. Even at the end of that episode, more people were moving in, right?
Yeah, but it's like a boarding house. It's like it's not like it's necessarily like an apartment. You gotta understand, like, especially back then, it didn't work the same way. It was like people come and go. You know what I mean? So it's not. Right. They weren't just like. If anything, it's more like a hotel, so you will, for black people than more of like an apartment. Like,
I got you.
You know what I mean? It was a boarding house.
I got you.
If that makes sense, but it was like a temporary boarding house if you can pay the rent.
I got you.
I think that's typically how it is. And who knows? There's 18 rooms. Maybe there's some stuff going on. They hear like loud thumps from the basement. They hear water splashing around. Like, damn, what's going on in the basement? That's a lot of water. What is that noise? And then that damn elevator always beeping like every ding, ding. Like, you know what I mean?
Who's running the elevator? Like, we still haven't answered that question. Like, what's going on with the elevator?
It's a ghost, man. It's a ghost elevator.
The ghost should have helped out. Shit. I'm like that was like they could have stayed like, hey, get us in the elevator. And then she swam. Anyway, we'll figure out what's going on with the elevator later. It's just the elevator got to me. It was messing with me. I was like, what's going on with the elevator? When I saw the elevator, I was like, God damn.
If you think about like, what did the elevator do to those three boys? Or not the three boys, like it decapitated one of them.
Yeah,
and put those bodies down in the basement. So we know who's dealing with this. The ghost. It's ghost dealing with it.
So I'm saying, it just be interesting. We know who the ghost is, what side are they on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the purpose? That's what I'm saying. The ghost elevator operator, like somehow he or she got murdered in the elevator, and now they're stuck in there forever. Like that'd be some wild shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like they'll say it is. I know who it is, but I think they'll say who it is.
Oh. Spoiler, Stacey. We gotta wait to see what happens. Okay. And see how it goes. All right. So it was good. The light trick. Before I go, the light trick definitely reminded me the way they used the light. Montrose said use the moonlight instead of the flashlights to find the door when they first went into the museum. Mm-hmm. I was like, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I was like the Mummy. I was like, I've seen
National Treasure. Times. Yeah.
I've seen this shit so many times. I was like,
where's Nicolas Cage when you need him? I was like, oh, that's the real Constitution. The light hits it just right. Then you can see the real Bill of Rights over here. You know, like hidden behind here. You know, like
Nicolas Cage is like, I'm sorry. Oh, this is my
museum. There's 51 stars, not 50 stars. Like, 51. What?
This is the real Underground Railroad. If you go through this place, all the slaves that have died before, I thought they were gonna do some crazy shit like that. I was like, at some point, slavery gotta come into this thing. I was like, where is the slavery in this episode? Like, where is the bad white people in this episode? But it also goes to sexism, real quick. So Christina, again, is no matter how powerful she is, she's still a woman. And she's still dealing with the son of Adams, and the sheriff is like, this is my town. Who the fuck are you to be acting like you're gonna be running around here? So she got her own enemies she's dealing with. Remember again, Tick was able to send rich white men out the room by his own command. If that white dude knew who he was, would he be able to pull rank on them too? I wonder. If they're part of the order. He should be able to be like, by right, he should be able to be like, I'm the descendant of Titus. So you're gonna do what I say do.
Well, I mean, I feel like if they were like in the area of of them in like the order, you know what I mean? If they're doing like in the building, you know what I mean? But it's sort of like your boss, like, when like you're at work, you listen to your boss says, y'all outside of work, and your boss say, hey, can can you start the car up? And you be like, no, man, start the own damn thing. We ain't at work. You know what I mean? It might be the same deal. They ain't at work. They ain't at the order.
But I see your point. It'd be interesting if he tries, though. It'd be interesting if he goes, if he doesn't know who they are, that they're a part of the order. Like, he just think there's some random racist people.
Yeah.
But if he finds that out, would he be like, oh, let me try to flex my Titus blood and see if that turns into a thing?
Well, it's not an actual it doesn't compel the person to do as he says. That's not how that works.
I know. I'm just saying, but it's still a rank issue. If he still goes, I invoke the fact that I am the only descendant of Titus in this damn room, right? And like he did at the manor, y'all didn't do it. And this is to see if he tries.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like now that the mansion got destroyed and whatnot, and they don't really. I don't think anyone. As you can see, Christina in the previous episode when Tick tried to pull the trigger, you know. Like, she knows that technically he's a higher ranker than her, but he ain't give a damn. He just kind of looked at him like, look, you really need to stop pulling triggers on white women. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so.
It's interesting, though. She pulled the woman relationship card on Letty, right? Like, she got into her when she went to go see her at the thing. She was like, you know, this man tried to kill me. Like, why does he think it's all about him? And that's the same thing Letty said, like, in the thing, right? I was like, oh shit, like, she may be working a wedge between them.
That was, yo, what did you think? You know what, that was, okay, you're right. This definitely wasn't Indiana Jones, because at one point where they got in the elevator and they played that freaking Casablanca song where Letty and Tick's eyes meet and they're like, and they embrace each other. I'm like, holy shit, this really is freaking Indiana Jones. Like, to get out, I was like, Indiana, you fool! Like, oh my god! Like, I was like,
I was looking for the little Asian kid. Remember?
They had the booby trap too.
Part two. Part two.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So
it was racist.
I love the scene with all three of them, like with Tick and Montrose arguing with each other, and then Liddy's like, "Yo, what the hell's going on over there?" Like, she's like, "Hurry up! Like this damn thing is coming down, and y'all need to hurry up." Yo, that's some great balancing that they did. I gotta say that was some extremely great balancing. I mean, I don't know if you can compare that to Jesse Owens, because he just ran. I don't know. You can, you know, that ain't no damn. That's maybe a gymnast that you can compare it to. But he said Jesse Owens eat your heart out. I'm like, he didn't do gymnastics. He didn't do balance beams. You know what I mean? You ain't run, but so fast. You took you a while. You hesitated. You know what I mean? So,
I don't know. Stacey, what do you think, though? What do you think of the woman power you're seeing out of
I definitely, she was pulling the girl card. She's like, oh, don't let these men convince you, blah, 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 blah. And I think Liddy kind of feels that way, because remember, she was saying earlier in the season how, yeah, I'm a woman, but I can do this too, you know. So I think during that time, women were oppressed in a way, and so she was like, okay, well, we're both women, so let us get together and then do our women powers activate thing, and then and then we can overpower the men, because I feel like she thinks that they both have their own powers, which will come later when we find out who Liddy's daddy is.
She said that she on board, man.
Do you think that her dad might be part of, like, the order?
He's somebody. He's somebody. He's somebody important.
Well, damn, everybody daddy's somebody. But
it would bring so many different things, more things to this complicated, like, stew as it is. Like, maybe
I think I'll be pissed, actually, if they make her dad part of the order, because I'm like, really, like, they just happen to, him and her and Tick just happen to be in the same neighborhood, and they just happen to all have the lineage to Boston, like, just unexpectedly, randomly, and they just happen to, you know what I mean? Like,
Titus, I'm sure Titus humped a lot of his slaves. I mean, that's sad to say, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot. Hannah wasn't the only one, and wasn't the only one that had a child. And so I'm
talking about her dad. Like, her dad. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, if you want to go that route, I mean, if you want to talk about, like, black people that come from Thomas Jefferson. You got just some dark skinned folks. You know what I mean? We're talking about Liddy's daddy, not her daddy's daddy. Talking about her daddy.
Okay, all right. So Titus, I see your point. So maybe Titus has some other white kids that he didn't tell anybody about, and that came down the line. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure if he slept with black slaves, he slept with some white women too. So I mean, he sold his royal oats before he was. I don't know. It's gonna come to something. It's an option. It's a possibility. She's too light skinned for not.
I feel like they put that in there for a reason. I feel like she's light skinned for a reason. Like
light skinned for a purpose. It's gonna turn to something. We gotta see, man.
It'll be a waste of light skin.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. She could have been dark skinned, and that's a whole other conversation we're gonna be having. Like, why is it the lead sister light skinned? You know what I'm saying? High yellow. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other conversation we're gonna have. But that light skin don't come for a reason. Damn it. Anyway, all right. Let's move on. All right. So that's anything else before we close this up?
Stacey, you first.
I don't know. Chris?
No.
No?
I'm looking forward to the next episode. Looks really cool. It looks kind of similar to what I saw in the book, read in the book. So I'm looking forward to it. That was one of my favorite tales in the book. So that's going to be pretty cool to kind of see HBO go with the route that I'm thinking they're going to go with next episode. But overall, I think this episode that we all just saw, I thought that was pretty cool. Like you said, I think it did kind of somewhat confirm the fact that Christina and William are all in the same. Like I said, I did find it weird that, that it was like they kind of did a gender swap to begin with. You know what I mean? And so I think, so I don't know. So I feel like that's their response to it in a way. So which I like, because it brings a very different storyline, if anything, that Caleb once had that you now give to Christina. And to be honest, I actually kind of like this more, because Caleb's just straightforward. I just, my dad just didn't die quick enough, and I wanted power. It was just it was boring. It was a typical, like, our father passed away, whatever, and now it's my turn to shine. Christina is just more like, damn, like, you guys never let me in the club. And I don't know, that one resonates. I mean, I'm a man, but that resonates, I think, with more people than anything. You know what I mean? Just, when it comes to just minorities in general, like, obviously women, women and minorities who felt like they were discredited because whether it just be like their gender or their race. And I kind of find this particular plot kind of refreshing, especially even seeing like a rich white woman still dealing with obstacles. You know what I mean? Like, she's supposed to have it all to the average black person looking into her life. Like, you have it all. And she got freaking powers. She got magic powers, and she's rich. You know what I mean? And she is still being like talked down to by like a freaking sheriff, for God's sake. You know what I mean? So it's I dig it. I like it. I like Christina. I like Christina probably a little bit more than I actually enjoyed Caleb, and I enjoyed Caleb in the story. But this I dig the plot. This plot with Christina probably a little bit more now. So I'm all on board. What's up with you, man?
I'm a romantic, I guess, sometimes. Like, I'm kind of irritated. I'm happy that Letty and Tick are moving forward, but that kind of obsessed me about, what about the woman in South Korea? Like, I mean, like, is she gonna come a thing? Was that just, is she already dead? Did he kill her? Like, again, I'm going back to episode 2. Tick was not dreaming of Letty, all right? Like, he wasn't. So I'm like, what about the woman he actually dreamt about of? Is that going to become a thing? She descended from a damn spaceship at the beginning of this whole series. So I'm like, she had to mean something to him. Yeah. He called her. I got to see where that goes. If it comes back or whatever, I just want to see that go somewhere. Obviously, Letty and Tick are the future.
I think I mean, like, when they show early trailers of her, I think I saw Jamie Chung's facing a different, like it looked like a different scene. So so you see, and it wasn't just her descending from a spaceship, and it wasn't her. It looked like when she was in her own country, because you see her running away from something. You see her running away wearing like this little hair, and it was like a quick trailer they showed of that. So so if anything, we'll at least get like at least a flashback. I feel like that's what we're going to get. So yeah, and I can say that because her character didn't even exist in the book, so I can theorize without you guys getting annoyed. Be like, hey, you saying? I don't know shit with her because she doesn't exist. So shut your mouth.
So she's expendable, right? But anyway, it's an amazing show. Every episode is like a whole new movie to me. So many different like genres being thrown at us, but it all somehow makes sense. Again, I'm happy. I look forward to see next episode what new genre they throw at us, what new soundtrack they put in there. I'm waiting for Cardi B, or some straight up hip hop song. I'm waiting for that. Maybe Prince. I feel like Prince is gonna pop up. I feel a good Prince happening. Okay, there you go. Stacey, which artist do you want to see represented in this show before it's over?
Michael Jackson.
I can see that. Definitely Michael Jackson.
They play like black and white, maybe.
Is this some Thriller?
If you're black or white.
Right. Which?
I was thinking more like Thriller with some monsters or something.
Ah, that's good.
Would that be kind of corny?
Yes, but I'm here for it.
Well, it depends. You want black Michael or you want white Michael? I mean, you got to pick which Michael.
I mean, it would have to be light Michael, or maybe in between Michael.
I don't know. Bad Michael was like in between Michael, like Thriller going into bad.
Yeah. PYT Michael. PYT. I want to love you. Be
okay.
Pretty young thing. That one.
Okay, my bad. I got you. Thank you.
Like he was getting there, but he wasn't there yet.
He wasn't there yet. All right. So we got Michael Jackson, not the Jackson 5. Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
All right. Chris, what you got?
Ooh. I don't know. It's funny you kind of went old school with it because I was going to go the same and I either I would say probably the Isley Brothers maybe. I don't know. I feel like they're going to have like some sort of like romantic song or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Rihanna thing kind of surprised me because yes, they had like hip hop songs like in the first episode that was very like kind of fleeting or whatnot because it was like a block party or whatever. But this one kind of was, I don't know, it was more shocking in a way, you know what I mean? Because it was such a commercial song. I didn't think they were used like it's such a big commercial song at that. You know what I mean? So at this point it could really be anything. I don't know. Like I said, Isley Brothers.
Okay. Isley Brothers, Michael Jackson. I'm thinking Cardi B. We just got who would I want? See, that's what I think. Who do I want? Salt and Pepper. I'm trying to think of somebody. Beyonce. So you need a good, strong woman song for Letty. Like she needs a soundtrack. Like especially if she and Christina get together, they need some kind of strong woman song that they can go out. And I think Beyonce. I think one of Beyonce's hit could probably do it. That's what I'm thinking.
Did you play a Desiree song? Like you gotta be cool. You gotta. I mean, that's so. Did you have to go with the Queen?
Franklin.
Huh?
R-E-S-E-C-T.
Oh yeah. With the right card, they could do that. With the right card system, and they would like almost fit the time. So that would be good.
Yeah.
But I got.
Did you hear about this young Aretha from Detroit?
I don't know. That's true. I don't know if she was.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do a lot of these other like real life
cameos type of thing.
Going there, that Emmett Till one kind of surprised me. Well, the Martin Luther King one surprised me too. I understand the symbolism that they're trying to do with it, but there's some points I'm like, damn, like it's not all. I don't know. The Martin Luther King thing was interesting, but I didn't find it very beneficial necessarily, and especially for the great man that Martin Luther King was on a show for a show that was supposed, you know what I mean? And then the whole Emmett Till thing was kind of, I don't know. It was interesting, but I thought it was. I don't know. The whole Emmett Till thing to me, like even hearing his name hurts Me, you know what I mean? Because I just seen the photos and whatnot. So even having a fictional version of him and say, well, I have a good trip, you know, the Ouija board, that I understand. People were cool with it. Me personally, I was like, okay. Like when I found out who he was supposed to be, I was like, oh shit, okay. Like they could have made him anybody else, but fine. You know, a real life guy that got tortured to death. You know what I mean? But you know, whatever. I mean, that's creative licensing. So
no, I got you, man. I got you. So like, obviously,
who's next? Who else are they gonna?
Not R. Kelly or Bill Cosby. Like neither one of them gonna be in this one.
You said who?
Not Bill Cosby or R. Kelly. I'm pretty sure. Like Bill Cosby won't be represented, and R. Kelly would not be played. I put money on that.
If it's a horrible scene, maybe R. Kelly.
Maybe R. Kelly?
No, but then they would have to give him money. They would have to like.
Oh, that's right.
They will have to essentially pay him.
Oh, so, can't have that.
Yeah, they'll boycott that. Fast and they boycotted Mulan. So you know, but yeah, so. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, who'd you say again? Cardi B, right?
Yeah, I say yeah. No, okay. So Beyonce, I think Beyonce first. She has cleaner words. So I think Beyonce, Cardi B with number 2. WAP could have been in there, but it's too soon. Like I think it was too soon. But like I'll think like Cardi B or Beyonce, I'll put up there. If Rihanna's up there,
they better not play no damn WAP. For one, they wouldn't do WAP because the show was already finished like you know months and months ago. But yeah,
man, they can't. Yeah,
but yeah, I don't want to hear no damn season 2. Like songs alright, but goddamn, like really, that's where we're doing HBO. We're just trying to turn that commercial, trying to have like kids
empowerment,
cool and hip. You know what I mean? Huh?
Empowerment or Kendrick Lamar.
Actually, you know what? Better, I got one for you. Queen Latifah, UNITY. Who you calling a bitch?
Oh, okay.
The whole like when that shit goes in, like especially like she's still because she's still doing the races. Like the whole black thing that was Sparkr. She comes out like do 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 do, and then the beat drops, and then Latifah comes out where it's like yo, it's like you ain't a bitch, you a hoe. Like and then boom, like she just takes a bat to somebody. It was just.
Did she go in there? Public Enemy.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Damn, that's a great one, and I would not be surprised if Public Enemy is definitely used before the season's up.
Yeah, Public Enemy.
Damn, actually, yes. Yep, that's a good one. Hell, Public Enemy was even an African American museum. Like they even presented.
That's what I'm saying.
Had his own thing. So, yeah.
Sounds like Public. All right. So we'll see how it goes. Let you guys let us know in the comments what you think. What you think about the music in the show? How you think it enhances the show? What other music artists would like to see on the show? Where you want these characters to go? And why do you still watch it? What do you want to see in it? But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like on the video, and comment on the video, and share the video. Let us know what you want to talk about. What you want us to talk about in the next episode. But we will be here either way. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we will see you again.